Hello there and welcome to the QNB Stars League review show, all in English here on Alcast as we look back at all 6 matches in week 7. Now this last weekend, the lead in the league table changed twice. Another head coach was shown the exit door. Add to that some incredible goals, and once again it was an action-packed weekend in the QNB Stars League. As always, I'm joined by former English Premier League players Nick Summerby and Chris Makin, who will run the rule over each performance and focus on the good, the bad and the ugly. Plenty more to come from them in just a little while, but let's remind you how they lined up for week 7. So on Thursday, the 2nd of November, just the one match, Al Ahly versus Al Sadd, which kicked off at 19:25 Doha time. Then there were 3 games on Friday the 3rd of November. Al Rayyan versus Qatar Sports Club, 17:15. That was our live featured match. The same time as Al Gharafa played Al Marqi, and Al Khor faced Al Duhail at 19:25. And then on Saturday it was Al Saliyah versus Salal, 17:15. And Al Khalatiyat took on Al Arabi at the later time of 19:25. Right, let's get straight to the action. And Al Ahly had only 1 win to their name going into week 7, and they would need to dig deep to get anything out of the fixture with Al Sadd. Saying that, Jeswaldo Ferreira had 4 key players missing, including Xavi, so it was up to his under-23 stars to bring home the points. Your commentators Nick Summerby and Chris Makin.
Al Hidu's dropping deep again. He's trying to get something going here now for Al Sadd. He's tackled by Masri. Picked up by Sayar in midfield for Al Sadd. Beneja, will he take the shots on goals to play the 1-2? Trying to link up there with Hassan.
He just goes for that one pass and it goes a little bit out of play, but these are the key players now. I've got to really try and make something happen there. This is, for example, here's your chance.
1-0, what a touch. Beneja sets up by Al Hidous, 1 touch with his left foot, and then he finishes with his left foot. And Al Sheikh in goal for Al Ahly has no chance. What a finish by Beneja. Musa from a deep area towards Beneja. Oh, he's picked up on the edge of the box, and that's a fine goal there by Hassan. The under-20, Al Hidous. Skipper leading the way tonight for Al Sadd. What a finish. We've had 2 great goals from Al Sadd.
Very disappointed at the moment with Al Ahly. They look lost, they really do. There's a ball over the top. This could be interesting.
Kaderi going long towards Michel. Shadowed by Sayar, does really well there, the youngster for Al Sadd.
You centre half, stop players, stop Assad, stop Al Hidous, get tight on them. Look at this edge of the box. Here we go, Beneja.
Powerful drive is Hassan, tackled by Masri. Unlucky there by Kaderi, tried to play inside the full-back Fahad. It was cut out, but Simao has it back now for Al Ahly. Kaderi again, down the middle this time. There's Michel, stumbles on the ball. Beneja again, dropping deep. Oh, finds his way through to Assad. Can he finish? Good save by Al Sheikh. Could be easily been 3-0. This is worrying times. Yassir coming forward for Al Sadd now. Can he take the shot on again? Al Sheikh saves. Hassan with a rebound. Heads over. Oh, good ball. What a ball. Oh, it just needed a touch from Morteza there. Wonderful delivery from Al Hidous. Oh, and a loose pass by Trezor. Lets in Assad. Beneja again. Beneja, will he take the shots on? He does! Oh, just past the post. Al Sheikh was beaten in goal for Al Ahly then. Should have been 3-0 for Al Sadd. Oh, and a loose header there. Michel to the near post! It's a save by Sadd. It's a corner to Al Ahly again.
It's very difficult to get it going again, and Al Ahly, they've got to play on this now. Let's have some quality into the box. This is better from Al Ahly.
Just need that goal. Kaderi to the far post, it's a free header. Nazaric, the substitution.
Now they're giving it away again, Al Ahly. Here's Beneja pushing forward. There's Assad now, as he got the pass back. Here we go.
He's offside, Assad. He'd be really, really disappointed with that. Picks up from Al Yazidi again. Weak shot comes in. Kaderi out wide to Michel. Michel up against Musab. Michel does well. And the cover comes in from Saya that time. And there's Al-Shamari. Straight away. Oh, Nick!
There you go, brilliant. Don't you just
Well
love it
done.
when a youngster comes on there? And
It shows-
wonderful. Get hold of the ball. I'm going to go and get myself a goal.
Correct.
What a strike, by the way. Bang! Go on, deserved a goal as well. Just must have slightly touched the post. What a beat the keeper, but just went wide. Great strike.
Benezia down the line to Al-Shamari. Al-Shamari into the near post. Benezia's there. Second of the... Oh, I thought it was the second goal of the match for Benezia. I don't know how he didn't go in. Good save by Al Sheikh in the end. Good work by Al Yazidi. Now, Al Ahly, can they get one back? Michel, 2-1. Coming up to the end of normal time, Michel gets one right at the end of this match. Is there enough injury time now for Al Ahly to push forward for an equalising goal? Benezia. Oh, just past the post again. Just haven't managed to get that third goal.
Amazing win, actually, when you think about it. Xavi, Hamroun, Pedro and Kuki, all four were out there, so the under-23 players did the job, Chris Makin.
They did. I still don't think Al Sadd have really played to their potential. We were really impressed with them at the end of last season. Thought they could achieve something special this season. But saying that, you know, the 1 point behind De Gea going into this break. But I still don't think they've reached the heights that they're capable of. And mind you, they're going into this game, them four players, they're massive players, aren't they?
And they are, yeah, absolutely.
They go on the team sheet first and foremost, don't they?
Al Ahly, maybe the scoreline probably flattered them, because you felt really that Al Sadd were toying with them and didn't really take full advantage.
It was a walk in the park for Al Sadd. It was like a training session for it. We could have played. You know, there was no urgency from Al Ahly. You know, you wanted something. They got away with a point in the last game, and you think, well, hang on a minute. You look at the team sheet straight away. All those important players are out. And you think, well, come on, we'll have a bit of a go here now. And they just never did. It was the worst game of the weekend, and we have to be brutally honest with that. Didn't see anything Al Ahly at all. Martial has a go, but there's nobody else. Nobody else knows to score the goals. You know, no creativity. You know, I don't know how they're playing. You know, so I think they're going to struggle. They really do.
OK, well, let's look in a bit more detail. Al Ahly going nowhere, basically. Nick?
This will give you a bit of an idea here now. I mean, we talk straight away with urgency. Look, so your full-back's coming out with the ball in now, look. Looking forward, he's saying, well, come on, give me something. Once again, the defender gets it. You know, straight away, you've got to be looking. Once the midfielder gets it, he's got to be looking at a forward pass. He's going to the side, he's going to the back. Al Sadd are thinking, well, go on, carry on, look. And straight away, when me and Chris watch a game of football, and we can see straight away in the first couple of minutes, no, it hasn't got it at all. It hasn't. You've got to do more. You've got to get it forward, knock them into the corners, move up a little bit, be condensed. But it was nothing. It was backwards, sideways. And Al Sadd would just, even when they got the ball, it was you have it, I'll have it, and then, you know, when the time was right, we'll create an opportunity. It was just far too easy.
One thing both of you were calling for was, as you say, mix it up and a ball over the top. They only did it 3 times, and once it ended up in a goal.
Well, it turns out to be a ball over the top, but we were just asking for forward passes, that's all. Yeah. Michel there disrupts the back four by making a forward run. Kaderi passes forward to him. Here's another great pass from Kaderi, and we didn't think Al Ahly did this often enough. Unsettled the back four, get it in behind them, trouble them. There we go, and you get your rewards. This ends up with a goal from Michel. You know, they're in a very difficult position, Al Ahly, and are they going to get out of the trouble by playing the first Piero that you've shown there, side to side there, the ones that we've shown there, get it in behind, either along the ground or in the air, it doesn't matter, as long as you're turning the opposition defence. I was a defender, hated facing my own goal, and we didn't see enough of that from forward passes from Al Ahly.
Nazareth, the new signing this season, he came on. He didn't start, which surprised you. He had a couple of half chances.
Once again, so it's the same situation. We look at the team sheet, we think, why is this guy not playing? You know, when he does come on, this is second half, there's his little bit of a knockdown then for Michel, tries to get into the box. Things change, looking to do a little bit of positive. Ball comes into the box again, free header. You know, and there's a couple of decisions what a few of the managers have made, what me and Chris, and it's so blatantly obvious to us. You're down the bottom there, you haven't got a centre forward, and you've got Nazareth on the bench. And when he does come on, something happens. The same thing with Ryan. You know, when you play Sebastian Hammond, I keep repeating ourselves, something happens when they play these forwards. And I just thought it was strange. We're scratching our head. And earlier he should have been on. You know, you don't have a centre forward like him with the size of him. You know, with Martial on his own and all that, with the size of him on the bench, it makes no sense. And when he did come on, it looked like there was a little bit of something, but it still wasn't enough.
One thing Nick said, then a walk in the park. And one of the things you looked at was Al Sadd's easy possession. It was just too easy for them.
Well, this is one of the instances in the game where it's just the amount of time. I mean, I thought that was a free kick and Benitez stopped playing then. He looked so lackadaisical. We're thinking, it's not a free kick, they're carrying on here. I'm thinking, come on then. I mean, if you're one of the leaders of the Al Ahly side, the coach, if you're one of the players on the... Come on, lads, let's get into them. Come on, make a tackle or go tight. Yeah. Obviously, you don't have to make a tackle, but go tight and do something. Disrupt.
Make it a challenge.
I thought the free kick had been given and Benitez to stop playing then.
Just too slow. Too slow. Tempo was awful.
OK, let's look at the two goals then. Bonegia and Al Haidous's goals. A bright point.
Yep, here's your quality straight away. I mean, when you have players like this, I mean, watch the pass from Al Haidous. It's all about the first touch. There's your first touch, second in the back of the net. You know, and this is the difference. I mean, they toyed with them, which we're not used to seeing. And when they stepped it up, this is what they're capable of doing. You know, wonderful from Al Haidous. Once again, another wonderful first touch, which enables him for his shot. And you know, they just played with them. You know, and when they felt like it, when they just got out of it, they just went into fifth gear, didn't they? And that was it. That's the quality of what they got. And they were the key players. They just, when they got that first goal, you know, it just got them going again, really. It was easy for them.
Right, Al Rayyan had the chance to go to the top of the league, for 24 hours at least, with a win against Qatar Sports Club. Gabriel Calderon's team were coming off the back of 4 straight defeats. Once again, Nick Summerby and Chris Makin describe the action.
But once again, they're starting to dictate the game, Rayyan.
Hamadallah just gives you something different, doesn't he, Nick? He's a forward player that can beat players easily. It's just something different. You don't see it so often in the game nowadays. And here's Sebastian again, and it's that link-up play! Sebastian fires over! I think the original shot came in from Hamadallah. It was Al Sadi with a rebound. It fell to Sebastian. He fires over. Omar now tries to find Babatunde. Clear by Zuma. Salem just gets underneath that long ball.
He's getting a lot of ball at the moment, Omar, in midfield. Just got to be careful he's not trying to force it a little bit too much. You know, just get some passing going, try and get 3, 4, 5 passes going, get the confidence going. Here he is again in midfield, Omar.
Cross got to go in. It's time now. Gallo, not a bad delivery towards Babatunde. First effort on target for Qatar Sports Club. Sabata. Oh, it's a good save that by Jassim. Sabata again with the ball. Certainly was on target with a lot of pace, Nick.
Yeah, he has a way in which he hits it with the laces, you know, he gets it up and over, but Jassim's over. He saw where the ball was going and managed to stop it going in.
Omar breaking forward now from midfield, out wide. Gallo hangs on up to the far side. Babatunde again gets a better Zuma.
Am I feeling maybe a goal coming from Qatar?
Allah down the side. Hamadallah on the far side, clicks one up. Al Sadi back to Sabata. Cole with the drive. Always rising. Oh, what a ball. What a ball into the near post. Hamadallah just couldn't get the final touch on it. He's strong in the air tonight, Babatunde. We're going to get a yellow card for that challenge. I think he's entitled to go for that. He's going strong there.
Yeah, do you know, you can see Calderon then. Right. He's saying, well, hang on a minute, our goalkeeper's just had his hand trud on here now. And now Babatunde's been given a yellow card. He's got to keep the cool a little bit with it.
Oh no!
Oh, hang on.
He's just clattered into Vieira.
Chris.
That's more of a yellow card than the first
but he's
one.
just beginning.
No, sorry. Maybe that's a yellow card. The first one wasn't, Nick. So, I mean, 2 yellow cards in the space of a few seconds. And you're right there, Nick. Exactly right. When it's not, it's just so much goes against you when you're down there. He'll be fuming, Calderon.
Oh, Jassim looked good. Yeah.
Come on. Just keep your players alive, Jassim. Well done. That's okay. Force the back. Someone's got to get tight on Vieira, though. And this one up to the far post towards Hamadallah again. Musa 1-0. Just before half time, another killer blow to Qatar Sports Club. It came from a set piece. There's one up there. It's Hamadallah who knocks it back to Musa. And maybe on the far post, he just lost a little bit of concentration. What you was going on about, Nick? Let's get the runners, let's get the movement. Not a bad delivery, probably too, well, it was too close to Omar Barry. Plenty of pace on it though.
Yeah, it's the right idea, just didn't need to be as high really, but good idea. Here's Tabata pushing forward. Look over there, look at Zuma. Zuma's in.
Oh, you know what I was going to say? He pits out the wrong pass, Nick. Zuma was in acres on the far side.
Absolute acres there. It came to Hamadallah. I think he was trying to get the ball to him, but
great turn by Tabata. Tabata wide to Hamadallah. Hamadallah forced wide by Jassim. Ball goes out of play.
Well done, Jassim, wonderful play. I think he's going to look here now to hit it across right over to that left-hand side. Is he there? But I don't know about that now. Maybe the keeper is. That's where I think he was going to go. But look at that round. So it's there, Chris, on the right, isn't it? Surely you can just see that. There's a gap there, Chris. He's just going to pass it in.
Oh, he's done it.
Great. He's done me as well.
Wonderful technique by Tabata. And like we said, when you're down there, these go in and you just think to yourself, what have we done wrong tonight? It's been a wonderful display by Qatar Sports Club, but you can't do anything about that. That's incredible.
I mean, it's brilliant what he's done. He's bent it into where the keeper was stood. So if you look at the angle then before, the keeper can see the ball.
Tabata, Hamadallah, first touch wasn't the best. What a ball though. That is to Sebastian, what vision. Oh, wonderful play by Tabata, back to Allah. It's a bad ball, Nick. It's the wrong height, it's got to go along the ground.
Well, it was another good win for Al Rayyan. Qatar Sports Club certainly didn't make it easy for them, but Nick Summerby's tip for the league title, keep marching on. And you enjoyed it on the whole.
Yeah, it was a good result for Ryan, but I've got to say great credit to Qatar. We spoke. I gave a bit of stick to Al Ali, and they were totally the opposite. Qatar were organised, had a good opportunity, which we're going to see shortly from Babatunde until he got sent off. But they showed a lot of spirit, and if they play like that, they'll do a lot better. But very organised.
Chris, organised as they were in week 1, Qatar Sports Club.
They played well against all the top sides, Al Dahel, Al Sadd and now Al Rayyan, and they give the opposition a really tough game. And they were just well set out, totally unrecognisable from that 5-1 defeat to Al Salia. You got to remember, Coach Calderon, Rajab didn't play, Issa, Habibu, but organisation was key on the night. They looked fantastic at one stage.
And what you've decided to do here is look in more detail on what Qatar Sports Club are offering, because you said, well, we know what Al Rayyan can do, but let's look at a side who, have been struggling, but yet there have been some good performances, then they dropped off, then they're back. The good passing, for example, with Qatar Sports Club.
It's in every aspect. We just looked how organised they were, but they were confident on the ball. Always options around. We're going to see as we move it along here now. And they played their way in. You have to say Omar was, he was crucial in midfield, but they had a purpose, and the more the game went on, I mean, this is against Ryan, this is a difficult game, didn't give them a chance at all, but look at the football, what they're playing here now. Options around, they get to the edge of the box there, but as the more they went on, you just thought, well, hang on a minute, they're maybe going to nick it. But it was a really good performance, not just sat back, having a go as well, going forward. I was really impressed with him.
And they had a great opportunity through Babatunde. Chris.
Yeah, it came from a wide area again, and Babatunde is not the biggest, but somehow he creates that space and he's in the middle of the goal, and either side of the keeper, it's a goal.
Now, the problem is, you've got a player, Babatunde, who looked, he got into good positions, and then at the end of the first half, he gets sent off, Nick.
Me and Chris don't think this is a foul. I mean, you have to realise, it's wonderful that we get all this slow motion, HD television, but when you go for challenges, you're always going to have physical contact. You're both running forward, you're going to catch him, whatever. He's got his arms up as well, and it looks like, oh, hang on, that's a foul. Anyway, he shouldn't have been a foul for that, but this was definitely a foul. And it's less than a minute away, so you've got to keep your head a little bit. He just lost his head there, and this is a bad tackle. And just a minute before that, he'd made a bad tackle before, so it gave the referee really no option.
38 minutes, it's 0-0.
Yeah, exactly.
Then you go down to 10 men.
It was a great game, and then boom, this happens, and then straight away, game over.
Yeah.
Very simple.
It was a good old battle between Hamid Allah and Salim.
Oh, Salim did well, really well on the night. Some fantastic tackles, interceptions, and he in his own area as well. This was just a bit of frustration coming from Hamidallah,
There's nothing wrong with that, You like a bit of aggression just to remind him you're there.
It's just, he's done his job there, Salim. That's wonderful to see your opponent losing his temper, sorry. But he was fantastic on the night, Salim.
He followed him everywhere, he did his job with him. This is just to show you, look, he was up for it, the pair of them having a little bit of a battle, a little bit of fisticuffs at the end, it's nothing at all, but and then just watch this for a tackle at the end. That's top quality. That was the commitment given by Qatar. That's what you have to do if you're going to stay in the league. And just a little one at the end. There's Hamidallah shaking the referee's hands. Who's behind him? Still there, look. He wouldn't leave him alone. I think he followed him into the car after. That is called tight marking, and that's what we want to see. It was,
but that's great because they're going to face each other again. For the next round of matches, and I bet you did that when you played, didn't you?
Well, he was a marker, wasn't he? He was a nuisance, wasn't he? He's one of them ones that treads all over you and all that. You can't know. So on a cold day in Sunderland, you don't want someone treading all over you.
That was every Saturday, that cold day in Sunderland.
Even in May. Right, Tabata's free kick, Nick.
Oh. Absolutely top quality. We tried to. What's good about this is where the keepers stood. So the walls are on the left, and he stood there. Tabata knows straight away. Tabata knows he's going to move a little bit. Now the keeper's moved over thinking he's going to go into where the gap is there, so he just moves that little yard. By the time he does it, it's in the back of the net. It's brilliant how he does it.
Let me ask, why, we've discussed this before, why does a keeper make that move?
No, because he leaves that much of a gap there. When you look at it on the telly, you think, just bend it round there, bend it on that right foot round there. It's easy. And he's hoping that he can do it. There's not many players what can do it.
Well, he's only took half a step. It's wonderful.
But what he's done there is when you look from the back of it, he's just gone, and then he's lost the vision of the ball. Then by that time, then the pace.
But then for Tabata
to go for that, it's a yard there. He's gone for that little gap there. Yeah. Brilliant, fantastic. It was fantastic skill.
Just a word on Al Rayyan before we move on. Michael Laudrup 10 days ago now said that it was all just about closing the gap. That victory took them to the top of the table for 24 hours at least. So, it's more about closing the gap. They've touched the top there. They can do it again. Can they do it by the end of the season?
No, it's Al Sadd game. Correct. Simple as that. Let's get it right. Leicester City won the Premier League, and they had not a chance at all. This is Ryan that won it a couple of seasons ago. What are you talking about? Your title contenders. And I even got out of bed the other day brushing my teeth, and I thought, is he not saying he's title contenders? Is he not? He's crazy.
It's amazing how this league affects you. You think about it all the time.
The title contenders, end of. That is it. You're not going to just bridge the gap. You're beating Al Sadd.
You can't say after the win over Al Sadd.
You can't. No, but you're sticking with Al Sadd at this point. We're 7 weeks in now to a 22 week season.
They're both on 18 points. I can't split them.
Well,
all I'll say is Al Sadd haven't played well yet, I don't think.
We usually do a video, don't we, a personal video on our own, and I was in my car the other day and one popped up with you at the start of last season with Alger singing a song as well at the end of it.
Don't worry, that's last year. Gone
last year.
It was
so last year.
So last year. Right. Al Gharafa were blowing hot and cold. You never really know what sort of performance you're going to get. In week 7, they were up against a very determined Al Markhia side. It was one of those days when Al Gharafa looked lively, and as early as the 10th minute, Ali Adin's perfect weighted pass beat the offside trap, and Weiss was through. As always, he kept his cool and put away his 4th of the season. Immediately, Al Markhia responded, showing they were not prepared to take this lying down. And in just after the hour, Carey rose unopposed in the area to meet Saleh's cross, and Yusuf Adams' men were level. It finished 1-1. Al Gharafa, first of all, let's say well done, Marchia, getting a point there.
Yeah,
they weren't going to, as I said, take that lying down.
Yeah,
but Al Gharafa going ahead in the 10th minute, Weiss looked good. You just thought maybe they'd get the 3 points out of that one, but it wasn't to be.
I don't know. I always thought it was going to be a tough game for Al Gharafa. We had high expectations of Al Gharafa before the season. We always do, don't we? They're just one of those clubs, aren't they? Very similar to Al Arabi. And when it doesn't come off, everyone seems to go a little bit over the top because they are one of the bigger clubs in Qatar. But there's something not right. I mean, they've scored less than they've conceded at the moment. They've scored 8 goals, conceded 9. So that's Al Gharafa. You expect a lot more, scoring more.
I know,
than
when
8
you
goals,
get, when you get
Yeah.
goals like that with Weiss, he's so quick and but then it stops.
I mean, delighted for Carey. I mean, this boy's worked really hard. It's
Yeah.
his second goal of the season. I like what he's all about. He's a real team player, and hopefully he starts scoring goals. But I like Marquet, I like the manager, and I'm really positive about them. I think they really do have a chance of staying in the league because they've got that team spirit. Gharafa, it is all dependent on Weiss. It is, and he's fine at the moment, by the way. He's working on his fitness more than anything. That's what he's doing, because I've never seen him running behind as much as what he's doing. But is he enough? Is he going to score enough goals for him?
Good news for Mark here and good news for he's back in business. The agent, when they signed, Abdul Gadir. He's back in business.
What, him and Carey? Stop it.
If you're just coming into this in joke, Abdul Gadir, who's made his way around the clubs, every club he's been with, whether it was Al Salir or El Jaish, always had an impact, but was never really sort of given a first choice, rarely given a start. Every time he came on the field, he made a difference.
Yeah, absolutely.
So, Nick used to shout Abdul Gadir's corner, and we used to think that he may have been his agent.
Now we've got more to come.
Yeah, but no,
So he's with Marquia, that's fantastic
Yeah, but
news.
you think the pair carrying him up front, 2 big guys
Yeah.
up there, and you've got Salah and Nasser playing off them as well. Tell you what, Chris,
Sleep well tonight, won't you?
I'm happy now, my man. we just need my coach back, don't we? What's that coach, our French guy called?
Well, talking of coaches, we'll get onto that in just a moment. Al Khor, they were coming off 3 straight defeats, and they were waiting for their new head coach. Not ideal preparation when you're about to face the champions, Al Duhail. Al Duhail's objective was quite simple: to return to the top of the league. Tunisia international Youssef Msakni was the man of the match with 2 goals and an assist for Louis Martin, who, by the way, scored a screamer from the edge of the box. 3-0 at half-time, and the champions were cruising. However, in the second half, Al Khor's Madsen put a one-man show on with his 2-goal effort that included a penalty. But as all too often with Al Khor, Madsen's heroics can't always save the day. That pretty much sums it up, doesn't it? But Al Duhail, secure in the victory and back to the top of the table.
They were creating so many opportunities. You think to yourself, go just get these goals in the back of the net. I mean, and all of a sudden, Al Khor get one back, and the game just changes completely. That man Madsen, he does something magical nearly every week for
Well,
Al
what about
Khor.
him? Masakni, that's magic.
He was superb on the night. And, he got 2 goals on the night, and he hit this free kick. It come back off the bar. It was a perfect free kick, apart from hitting the bar. He was dying to get his hat-trick. It just never happened. But look at his awareness here.
Is this the best we've seen him since he joined the league?
Yes,
Masakni.
I think that. He's matured really nicely, but he's enjoying it.
It was a lovely assist to Louis Martin, who absolutely he loves one of those edge of the box
He's been playing
screamers
well.
every season, doesn't he?
I tell you who had a quiet game this evening. Boudiaf never got into it at all. Good anticipation by the captain there. Good finish as well. But Louise is making up for Boudiaf having a quiet evening. Scores a goal and he's dominating midfield. But goals change games, and all of a sudden Al Khor get one back, and obviously Madsen comes into play then. You never know what you're going to get with him. This was never a penalty. There's no contact. He does everything right. Hilal cuts across Naji, but does not get touched.
It's phenomenal what he does, this Madsen. It's
Yeah.
very difficult to mention Al Khor without mentioning his name. You know, he's literally on his own. You know, you think about what he does every season. You know, it's brilliant. You know, it's why can't we see him at one of the top teams? Why can't we just give us a little bit of a teaser and put him in with some quality
That was a great
players
finish,
around
by
him?
the way, that, wasn't it?
He's just fun. I'd love to see him at one of the.
I
top
mean,
teams.
it's interesting actually because that took it to 3-2. Suddenly,
Yeah, they get one in injury time.
You know, it's-
yeah, 3-2. And you're thinking, and
Can make a draw.
Same again. Rod, how the hell can they get that clean sheet to help Coach Balmardi? Well, listen, they're happy to outscore the opposition at the moment.
Alarak came on for Namtehi.
Alarak, Al Breaky came on as well. Moez was on the bench. He's another under 23 player. So you talk about Al Sadu producing these kids. Al Dahel did it on the night. But Al Khor, you got some news on Al Khor?
Yes, Al Khor. I was going to get to that Al Khor news. Yeah, we'll throw that in now. I was saying going into that, they were waiting for their new coach. Well, they were, but he's there now. Radish Sneshel, who was, of course, Qatar Sports Club head coach. Then he went off to coach the Iraq national team. He's back. Now then, can he manufacture something?
Who's the bottom two now?
Qatar Sports Club and Al Khor.
Who's Al Khor's next game?
Qatar Sports Club.
His old club. Snezzel.
Beautifully timed, yeah.
Honestly, what a game that promises to be, doesn't it?
Absolutely, yeah. But the managers are starting to change a little bit now, aren't they? But what do you do with Al Khor? You've got the same players, haven't you? You've got to try and freshen it up. Look at Trabelsi at Celia. You know, when he's freshened it up, it's a different team
Snezzel
altogether.
had that Qatar team at the time.
He's good at
really
he gets them organised, yeah.
Mm.
He's really good at he does get them organised. He's very thorough. Yeah, we like him. Good to see him back as well.
Just a word going back to Al Dahel playing a number of under 23. We saw Al Sad doing it because they had 4 key players out. Your thoughts on that? Because we're seeing, you know, these under 23 players. There's some great talent there.
Yeah.
I think it's fantastic to see them. And you know, the likes of Al Sad, they come in, they slot in fine. You know, Bunja was still getting his opportunities.
I think the young players will find it more difficult to go into like an Al Khor team or Qatar Sports Club when you're under pressure. But coming into those big clubs where they're playing with better players, it's going to make them learn more quickly. I think it's absolutely fabulous. Look, there's something about young players coming into a football club that gets me excited. I'd rather see that than a new signing.
Yeah.
Well, it's a breath of fresh air in football. It's all money everywhere and people spending, you know, to see a youngster come through. You know, it's wonderful to see Moez do it, to see Amro. I mean, to hear what the manager said about Amro, he said he's the best. So we are now...
Well, actually, let's recap that story, because we threw that, not threw it away, but we just glanced over it in the preview show. Tell us who you bumped into.
No, we went into coach at Graffa. His name's just gone right out. Fernandez. And we had a really good chat with him. And he just said we said about the boy Amro, who was lucky he was there at the time. And he said, he's impressed with him, with his training. I mean, the best player on the training pitch. He said, and he put him in for his first game or so, and he said he's the best. He said, forget about this, is the best player in Qatar. So now, all of a sudden, you know, we're not that far away from the World Cup when it does come here. Russia finishes. We're lucky enough now, we're seeing these players what are getting a chance in the league, rightly so. And all of a sudden we can start, the picture's starting to come about who's going to be there or thereabouts playing in the team, which is exciting. And all these boys are coming through now. It's wonderful, and they're getting the opportunity.
Al Salia were absolutely flying this season. But if there was one team that could stop them dead in their tracks, it would be Salal. Nick Summerby and Chris Macon have the commentary.
Gives it away in midfield, dangerous positions to give it away because Sabo picks up. Here's Al Yafi, Jadou inside. Sabo, wonderful ball inside the full back for Ismail. Doesn't take on first time. Is he offside?
Shouldn't be, Chris. I tell you something. What movement that was. Great start to the game there for Sagbo. Laid it through to Ismail, but he should not be offside. He is, Chris. Look, what are you doing? Have a look across the line. Come on.
Looking uncertain in defence at the moment. Al Salia. It's all Salal in this opening 2 minutes. There it is again. Sabo with that wonderful touch up with the outside of his right foot. He's done it a couple of times now. Got the flick on, but here's Lazar. Lovely closing down there by Salal again. And the ball to the far post where Mawas is. Back to Sagbo. What a tackle that is by Al-Qahtani. Balaz steps up to the far corner. Difficult one to call. So tight this match so far.
Salah, the draw specialist, let's not forget, and at this moment now it's got that type of feel. But now this is the ball going forward. Here's Mawas. Sagbo's going into the box. This is when it's dangerous.
Oh, he's done it. He's gone past Al-Qahtani. I think he was concentrating on.
Ball over the top. Sagbo uses his strength. Well done, Grigori, and well done by the goalkeeper as well. Sorry, Al Ali there when the ball went over the top.
Once again, Nick Al-Sulia holding that high line. It only takes one to drop in like Grigori there. He hasn't got the pace to match Mawas.
What?
The high line. He's just asking for trouble.
Well, I'll tell you something now, Chris. Out of everything what we know in football, we said at the start of the game, how do you stop Mawas and Sagbo? Well, I'm not interested in that. Well, you have to.
You've seen the high line, you don't.
It's the worst thing you can do.
There we go. Al Ali on the other side. Al Ali, what a goal! Out of nothing for Al-Sulia. It's their first real attempts on goal, and Al Ali claims his second of the season. Salal on the attack. He's broken up. He's claimed back by.
Just watching Nash, Chris.
Yeah.
There he just goes down very quickly, but the ball bounces up. What a strike that is.
Wonderful goal by Al Ali. From a tight angle, and he gets a swerve on the volley. It goes into the far post. No chance for Zaidan in goal for Salal. There's it. Free kick taken quickly. Wonderful ball out wide to Ismail on the far side. Nips in towards the far post, towards Mahir. Not a bad delivery. Mawas has Ismail to his left-hand side. He's got Sagbo to his right. Feeds Sagbo. Sagbo on the right-hand side. Tries to cross it. I thought he was going to go for goal. Wonderful turn in midfield by Al Yafi. Not a bad ball into Sagbo as well. Sagbo finishes. And then assisting on holding this high line, Nick. Again. Oh, free header, and he pays off. Right at the start of second half, Sikor puts Salal back in this match.
There you go, Chris. There you go. Look, it's a free header, and I tell you what a header as well. Hang it up there, bang! There we go. We're back into the game. Well done by Sikor. Salal are back into the game. It's 1-1. Far too easy from Salia.
Hung up there. He gets the better of Belhaj there. Nick gets a run on. Belhaj, Wagner's static as well, and it's a free header. They'll be disappointed. Oh, fantastic header there from Sikor. Very powerful. Once again, the high line.
Round the back, Ismail. Round the back, Ismail.
The high line is... It's there to... If you make the right run, you're in here tonight. Saying that, Nick, you've got to be disappointed from him if you're Coach Chabert. You've got to have a word with your players at half-time. Just hold your own. This is better pressure now. Mawas. Still going. Aziz goes to ground. Mawas! 2-1. They're back in the lead.
The boys are back in town, Chris.
Big mistake there from Al-Sulia under pressure at the back. Aziz doesn't really deal with the danger. And Mawas, a great individual goal. Good pressure from him in the first place. Salal with a celebration there. They take the 2-1 lead at the top of this. Sorry, at this massive game at the top of the QB Stars League. Have a look now, Nick.
Yeah, he plays it into Grigori. Grigori gives it back to Aziz, but then all of a sudden he just delays with it. But you got to say full credit to Mawas. You know, the keeper was there. He kept cool, calm, collected. All of a sudden when it opened up, he smashed it into the roof of the net. And it's now turned round from what was advantage to Salia. It's now advantage to Salal.
Going into this game, they had the best defensive record. Oh, wonderful vision by Sagbo. Out wide to Mahir. Mahir gets a better of Al Ali. Can he get his shot off? Fires one wide.
Can't get any.
Still at it, these two, aren't they?
You can't get any change out of him at all. But here we go now, Sagbo. We've seen him score from this.
Oh,
right. Here we go.
Oh, nearly a third goal there for Salal, and they're really turning the screw in his second half now. Far out here, is he lined up a shot or a cross, Nick?
He's just going to try and whip it to the far post, just like that. There you go.
Oh, some more just underneath it. Oh, Al-Arazi! What a return that would have been for the Al-Sulia player, just back from Al Rayyan. Good turn and pass by Madada into Al-Arazi.
Handball.
He's going to be sent off. He's already got a yellow card, Nash. It's a penalty to Al-Sulia. It's whether he gets the second yellow card for the
It's not been
skipper.
given. It's not
What?
been given. It's not been given. It's not
Is
been
it
given.
offside then?
This is handball. This looks like a handball. We'll have to see. Here's a ball over the top. Lovely pass. Yeah, it's a handball, but it's not being.
It's
Look,
no.
watch.
No.
It's a Diego Maradona.
It's so much worse than that. And Ash stays on the pitch, Nick. I can't believe that. Wagner puts his side all square in this match. Steps up against Zidane. Wagner, oh, saved by Zidane. Wagner with a rebound. 2 each. He gets away with that one. Well done, Zidane. Hard luck, man.
Well done, well done, Wagner. First one, great save by the keeper. But when it comes back to him, what a strike with his left foot. Smashes it into the net. If anything, the Salal players were sleeping. You know, help the keeper out. He's made the first save. Come on, don't give him a second bite of it. I mean, this is a decision which we'll be talking about forever.
It's just bizarre.
It's
How
a
has he not
sneaky-
got a yellow card
It's
for
a
it?
sneaky little hand, isn't it?
Yeah, look.
There's a save. Look, you've got to get onto it. Even a Nash has got to get onto it. And that's it. It's in the back of the net.
How is Anash still on the pitch? Not that we want to see players get sent off, but that was absolutely bizarre. Oh, look, there's a red card. How can he give that because he didn't give Anash a...
I really don't know.
Red.
Maher now,
What's
red
going
card.
on
We'll
here?
have to have a look here now, but
Oh, yeah, no, he's just come on.
come on now.
Fadi's coming on for... Was it Ibrahim coming off?
Yeah, Ibrahim, he must have been on the pitch 20 minutes. I know how he feels. Yeah, ball into the box there, Rami. Now all of a sudden, Saleh. Here's Wagner. Oh, nice skill, here we go.
Oh, Wagner to the far post! He gets a deflection, but it go down as Wagner's goal, and if it does, that's his 7th for the season. But that could be crucial. That could prove to be the winner.
Wow, I'll tell you something. He turns, I don't think he sees Sikor coming behind him. A lovely nutmeg. Tell you what, I'll have a go with his left foot. He does that, gets a little bit of a deflection, but that is good enough to win any game of football. Watch this little bit of a nutmeg there. Here's Sikor getting tight. There we go. And how about that there? Go on, there's your match winner for you. Wagner, 2 goals tonight. And this looks like it's going to be the winner.
Al Saleh keep marching on. Fantastic this season. And I think they're just getting better every week, Chris.
Oh, it's brilliant. What a game. We picked out as the match of the weekend, and it proved to be that. It was absolutely superb. Both sides going for it, no one sitting back. Salal played their part. I think Salal could be kicking themselves.
Well, one thing annoyed you, Nick, more than anything, and that was how many times Salal were caught offside. I've never seen you quite so angry.
Well, I mean, this is Ismail at the start. This is the start of the game. It's a wonderful pass from Sagbo, and they came out the blocks flying, you know. And all he has to do, I mean, me and Chris have been talking about it. It's just literally lazy. That's all it is. I mean, look, he's at the top in the corner there. All you've got to do is just stand in front of the fullback. The ball comes to you, and you've got a chance. Once again, this is literally probably a minute or so after. Once again, looking him up there, he's lazy. Get back into position. That's all you've got to do. And we saw so much of it, and it came out even more second half because of the high line. What Saleh had, they were so high, but a static high line. They're not moving with the ball.
Say something, Brad. Even as kids, they're just taking chances there, the forward players, and they don't have to. But when we was being brought up as apprentices at football clubs, they would have tore a strip off us at half-time or at full-time. We would have got a right mullering off the coach or manager.
Really?
Yeah. For going offside is what's the word we're looking for, Nick? It's not lazy, but common sense as well.
Yeah.
So there's no excuse for being offside, really. Joe Roy used to say.
Joe Royal was your
Joe Royal was
manager.
my manager. Oldham went on to Everton. He said, for the forward player looking right along the line, you go level with the opposite fullback. And if it's not the fullback, whoever the furthest defender is, you make your run level with him and arch your run. And you're onside all day long. These players are taking a chance. As we go into it further in a minute, with the high line that Al Saleh were playing, there's no need to take a chance.
But this is not, you're talking, this is 3-4 yards into there. So you've got the whole pitch behind you. You know, it's just about timing your runs. It's so easy. It was there for you. You know, they don't want to go behind you. And the thing is, because they're stood there, if you get the run on them, they can't catch you because they're starting. You're running and they're stood still. Yeah.
Right, let's move on to a situation which it's a bizarre one actually, and that's an Ashes handball.
Bizarre. Never seen anything like it. We've been here 6 years.
I mean, he scooped the ball. He's already on a yellow card.
I'm telling you now.
That's a yellow card.
He's already in a yellow. Yeah, that's.
So that's another yellow card. So that's a red card, and that's send off. He stays on the pitch.
Yeah, I know. I've never seen a handball like that. Not as
it's the
deliberate.
Diego Maradona type of thing, isn't it?
I mean, he scooped it away from him. Now, okay, they get the penalty, and then what happens next? I mean, this is the bizarre bit. Look at him there. So who wants to pick that up?
Well, I'll tell you what he's thinking here. What he should be thinking. Hang on, I'm on the pitch here now. I need my goalkeeper to save me. Please dig me out, keeper, please. He does dig him out, but he's not expecting that at all. So again, he has a chance to redeem himself. But the pair of them, whoever was next to him, they just didn't expect it. Didn't expect the keeper to save it. And the keeper made a wonderful save. But look, it's too late by then. You've got to react straight away, expecting the keeper to. I mean, we talk about crosses going into the box. You've got to expect it. You've got to think a little bit. And all of a sudden, he's got to be thinking, please, come on, get us out, pal. Expecting if he does do it, I'm going to clear it straight away. He wasn't. He was just sleeping. So quite bizarre couple of situations. They do keep us teased in this country, don't they? With all sorts of things. Every week there's something happening, isn't there?
All right, who's looking at Mauras's goal?
Oh, yeah.
Go on, Chris.
It's about me the last few weeks. I'm forgetting stuff. I'm getting old now, Rod. Cleared the danger. Aziz there, it's 1-1. Don't take any chances. Not against Salah. Ball goes back to you. Guilty of overplaying. Get it out of the stands and start again. Get your defence sorted. They pay the ultimate price. It's 2-1. And you're thinking there's only one winner after this, Salah. You know how strong they are when they take a lead. But when it goes back to the keeper, boom. In the stand, organised.
Psychologically, that's a big win for Al Salia to get the better of Salah. It's that fourth spot. Remember, Al Salia got that fourth spot in the 13-14 season. And since then, Salah have always finished on top of them, as you pointed out in one of the commentaries. This is a psychological advantage now.
It is, yeah, of course it is. But I feel the strongest psychological out of the two teams are Salah. Through a whole season, I just think they're strong. It's looking at Salia when it goes a little bit rough and a few results don't go. They concede a few goals. Can they keep that momentum going really? But great result for them. Brilliant for Trabelsi.
Al Kharatiat been hovering around mid-table. In week 7 they were up against an Al Arabi side who'd only amassed 1 point in their last 3 matches. Al Arabi were under pressure to move away from the drop zone, and despite improving their performance, they still seem to be missing the X factor. It wasn't the best night for the Dream Team, who continued to struggle and failed to get a clear grip of the match. They took the lead though through Mardikian, scoring in the 79th minute. It just seemed like those 3 points in the 7th round for Al Arabi were too good to be true, as Moe saved Al Kharatiat in the last minute of time, added on with the equaliser. Good goal by Moe there. Good point for Al Kharatiat. For Al Arabi, it just wasn't good enough, and that saw the exit tour for Kais Yacoubi. The Tunisian head coach has left. Talk now that Bernard Simon, the French head coach, that's what the papers were talking about today. He had 2 stints, of course, with Al Kharatiat previously here in Qatar, so he's well known in the area. But I'm sure they will appoint somebody within the next week, being as it's an international break.
Yeah, it would be better for the club, but I feel for Coach Yacoubi. I don't think they were that far away. The last 2 games they've drawn the 2 games. They were in the lead, so that's 4 points dropped in the last week. They put the 4 points on their total now. Where are they? 5th. 5 points. They're on 9 points above Al Gharafa in 6th. This was a wonderful goal, by the way. It was a fantastic game. Both teams really went for it.
And you both feel that Al Arabi have been showing progress.
Yeah,
I mean, it's not sort of, you didn't feel that they were sort of down and out, did you?
Well, this is a step backwards for me. I mean, we've seen them spend big money. We've seen them now this season. It's changed the whole team. I totally agree with what Chris is saying. I mean, this is Maui. He's scored a right few goals, to be fair. He's a good signing. But just going back to Al Arabi, I think they're going in the right direction. And it's not going to, unless... They're not going to go and win the league, are they? They're not that type of... I don't know what the expectation level is. Now, all of a sudden, they're back to the start again. Manager comes in.
I don't think...
Yeah, the same thing
whoever,
again.
Whoever it is, whether it's Bernard Simon or whoever else, it will be the 13th head coach at Al Arabi in the 6 seasons we've been here. We arrived here sort of September 15th or whatever it was in 2012. This next manager will be the 13th manager head coach. That's quite a count.
And every manager's got their own ideas and game plans.
You won't
You've
go
got to
there. I
get
won't
used
go
to
there.
that one.
Unless you want a job for half a year, I wouldn't go there. They change it, don't
Do
they?
you fancy a 6-month job?
Yeah, it's just I'll do. Yeah, that's what happens, isn't it? They change it all the time, and you wouldn't go there at all. You know, if they phoned Trabelsi up and said, "How do you fancy Al Arabi?" Would you leave Salir?
No
And go to-
way.
And Al Arabi's one of the biggest clubs. You know, you just wouldn't. You wouldn't go there.
Are they at the same stage as when we were talking about Al Gharafa, where they just needed that little bit of stability?
Stability, yeah.
You know, Gharafa came across Caixinha and it worked out. It given that, didn't it?
Pedro's free at the moment, Mr. Caixinha.
Pedro Caixinha.
He's floating
Comes
around
back.
somewhere. Hope he's not got to pick some gear up from where he was living. Keep your
He
eye
used to
out.
dress very nicely. Pedro Caixinha, of course, has been sacked by Rangers after he left Al Gharafa. Talk is that he may be going back to Mexico where he had some success. Who knows, we may see him back here.
He used to walk down the beach at the Intercontinental like he's like something out of Baywatch.
All right, let's recap the results from week 7. So Al Ahly losing out to Al Sadd on Thursday, the 2nd of November. The result flatters Al Ahly a little bit. Al Sadd were totally in control despite having 4 of their key players missing. On Friday, the 3rd of November, 2-0 win for Al Rayyan over Qatar Sports Club Gharafa with that 1-1 draw with Marghia, and Al Khor losing 4-2 to the champions Al Duhail. That took them back to the top of the table, as I will show you in just a moment. On Saturday, Al Salia 3-2 win over Salal. That's what we were talking about, that 4th place, the psychological win for them. Al Khalijat with a 1-1 draw with Al Arabi. Right, let's show you the league standings then after 7 weeks of action here in the QMB Stars League. Al Duhail back on the top, 19 points. 1 point behind Al Rayyan and Al Sadd. Al Rayyan ahead on goals scored because they both have 9 goal difference. Al Salia in 4th, Salal 5, Al Gharafa 6th. Down at the bottom, it is Qatar Sports Club who prop up the rest. Al Khor, their new head coach coming in, Radi Sneshel. I wonder what will happen in week 8 as he faces his old side. Al Marghia there in 10th, Al Arabi 9th, Al Ahly 8th, and Al Khalijat at the top of the pile in the bottom half in 7th. Right, it is time for the top 3 goals of the week as chosen by Nick and Chris.
The honour goes to the big man.
You can go first. Number 3. Nick Somerby, who wins week 7's number 3?
Lewis Jr., our friend of the channel, with one of his strikes, what he does every season, edge of the box. You know, wonderful. He's a fantastic striker of the ball. There's his right foot and smashes it in the net. Fantastic strike.
And a great assist from Masakni.
You're not Masakni's agent, are you? Because you mentioned him quite
You're
a
going to
bit.
give that as an assist. He's blasted it
but
for
he keeps
20 yards.
He keeps mentioning Masakni all the time.
Hey,
Pass it back to the halfway line, Masakni
it
there.
goes down as an assist. Okay. The second best goal of the week, according to Nick and Chris,
Panel.
is...
Madigian. Is that it? Madigian. For Al Arabi.
Madikian, I think they say.
Madikian.
Yeah, it's
Yes.
Armenian.
All right, okay. Wonderful ball by Hamid on the right hand side. We saw 2 similar goals last week from Masakni and Beneja. This time Madigian rises up at the near post. Wonderful header.
But the number 1 goal from week 7 goes to who, Nick?
Firstly, we're sorry, Wagner, that you've not made it. We don't do deflections.
No!
Al Ali has
No!
got it. We don't do it. Al Ali's got it. Yeah, by the way, and he can score some goals as well for a fullback. But he's going forward here now. Wonderful from Belhaj. There you go. Look at that for an angle there, and he smashes it into the corner. We had a bit of an argument, the pair of us, about Wagner, but we're very, we don't. You've got to. It's got to be.
When you get to this level, you know, minute deflections count. It's critical at this level. Wagner's goal got the slightest of deflections.
So it's not in.
And it makes all the difference at this level.
All right, well, that brings us to the end of week 7. There's an international break now, so whoever you're following, enjoy. Here in Qatar, we have a couple of internationals. Iceland are coming here to play, which is fantastic because Iceland, the smallest nation to qualify for the World Cup, should be interesting.
They're playing really well, aren't they? They're keeping the form going ever since they beat England. Well, they
absolutely,
are.
yeah.
I thought you were smiling a little bit then, weren't you?
Who else is playing? Doesn't know. He's not bothered, is he? It's just
Just the team that beat England, that's all. No, I don't not really like that. Anyway, thanks to you, Nick Sotheby, and to Chris Makin. Enjoy whichever international football team you are supporting over the next 2 weeks. Next time we see you, it'll be for week 8 of the QNB Stars League 2017-18 season. From all of us here, bye for now.